Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. This one's going to be a bit different today. Hopefully I'll do alright. I don't have a computer desk or anything today because I'm moving. So I'm just sitting on the floor right now with my tablet in my lap and my mouse and my monitor and everything else all on the floor. And I've also got my cats in here because the packers and movers are here, and so we got to keep the kitties out of the way. So if you hear meowing, that's them. What I decided to work on was a project that I've actually been working on for a while. It's a let's see, what is it? I can't remember the IP it's from. It's a Druchii. It's like a fantasy character I was commissioned to do, and the line work is all done. I just need to do the coloring. So I'm going to use Photoshop today because I'm more familiar with it than Manga Studio, and it's just easier for me to, with this weird setup with the tablet being in my lap and stuff, to use something that I'm familiar with. So I've got the document up that has the description of what this character's color should be. It has black hair, blue eyes. I'm not sure if it mentions a skin tone. I'm looking through here, there's a lot of weapons. A lot of examples of weapons. The armor is all light blue. Let's see, helmet is silver. Dang, I'm gonna go all the way to the bottom. Okay, there. Okay. So yeah, it does not look like it mentions a skin tone. I'm gonna look from the bottom up to make sure I'm not missing it. Generally, these characters have a light skin tone anyway. Most of the other characters I've done for this commission have light skin. And these are all the weapons. Ooh, Kibi does not like it in here. If you can hear Kibi, which I bet you can, he's the cat I drew on last Friday. He doesn't like it in here. He doesn't like it in his crate. When I let him out and he sees all the new people, he's absolutely terrified and runs through the house like he's going to be eaten or something. So I just put him back in his crate, even though he doesn't like it in there either. He's just going to have to put up with it until we're moved. Okay, so there's not really a skin tone mentioned. I like to start with the skin. Let's see here. Okay, that's my notes layer. There's the lines. Sketches, I don't need that. I'm going to make a folder for color. I have to sit my keyboard on top of my tablet in order to type. Hopefully I spell everything right without looking. Okay. New layer. Ooh, gotta do it again. Okay, call this layer skin. Set the keyboard back again. I've got my Lazy Nezumi Pro still. It's actually even more useful for Photoshop than it is using it with Manga Studio, because Manga Studio actually does smooth lines relatively well on its own. Photoshop is just awful. just terrible. And so when I found Lazy Nesme Pro, I was like, oh, this is salvation. My lines are so smooth now. It's too bad I did the lines for this drawing long before I discovered Lazy Nesme. But they're alright considering. There's not much skin showing anyway, so pretty much everything is... Got gloves on his hands. Oh, Kibi. Okay. I've got my stylus for this tablet, which just still feels weird to be using it in my lap like that. Although that is what I would like to eventually do. Though maybe not sitting in my lap like this, because this is already getting really warm. Let's see, it's too small. And smoothing subtle. I like the subtle setting for Lazy Nesme when I'm coloring. It's really good. And I'm just going to pick a skin tone. They're generally relatively fair skinned, at least this commission group. Maybe not that fair though, jeez. Do it a little bit more something. Ooh, Kibi hates it in there. He hates it. Yeah, that's good. I'll do this color for the skin. Just like with Manga Studio, I like to color outside the area of the skin, as long as it's not outside the entire boundary of the character, and then cover it up with the subsequent layers. My husband came and rescued me from Kibi. Got Kibi out. Still got Kiki and Bear in here, but they're much more quiet. They're also not as freaking out as Kibi. Kibi just doesn't know what to do with himself. There's no safe place for him. That's how he feels. He's perfectly safe, but it doesn't feel that way. Okay, next I'm just going to do a layer for the scar on the face and the whites of the eyes together. Oh man, I can't see what I'm typing. Put eye whites. There we go. Okay, so scar. We're gonna do a I usually do a somewhat more red tone. Oh, I gotta cross my legs the other way. My tablet is really heavy. Okay. But maybe this time I'll actually go for a sort of discolored look. Like it's an old scar. Let's see what that looks like. Minus this thing. No, there we go. Okay. Make the brush smaller. Oh, I forgot to turn this on. There we go. What's this called? Airbrushing? Well, anyway, it's the thing that allows the... Now Bear starts meowing. That setting I just turned on makes it so the stylus pressure is what determines how thick the brush strokes are. But now I need to make gray background. Medium-ish gray. Paint bucket. Boom. And that is so I can tell where I am or am not filling in here, because this is such a light color. Oops. Oh no, that's why it's not working. Coloring on the wrong layer. I always do that. There. Okay, back to the scar and eyelids layer. Oh, I gotta keep my posture good. I'm like hunching over and it's hurting my back. I bought this wonderful ergonomic chair that supports my back so well last year. Like, it's the best chair I ever had, and I can't use it today because there's no table anyway. No desk or nothing. But this is temporary. Tomorrow I should have a desk to use. And let me see what that looks like with the skin layer. I think that's alright. Once I add shadows, once I get to shading, that'll look more like a scar, like an old scar. But I also want to do the eye whites on this layer, so I generally just like to do a really light color, almost white, but with a hint of blue. Oh, I remember. This is from Warhammer. That's what it is. Just totally slipped my mind. I was trying to think about it earlier. Warhammer. Warhammer characters. I really like designing people's characters for them. So like these were characters where they'd never actually been drawn before. They knew what they wanted. They could find reference image of, for instance, this guy. His weapons and stuff were based on a lot of like Dynasty Warriors weapons. So there's that like reference image of the idea of what the client wants, but it's not like they want that exactly. That's just sort of the inspiration. And being able to create the character is actually pretty fun, because in the end I'm like, oh yeah, look at that, and I never would have thought of that on my own. Like, I feel like my creativity doesn't lie in coming up with stuff like that. I'm better at refining ideas. Well, I think I do come up with some cool stuff on my own though, but like, coming up with characters is so hard for me. Like, I don't know. I'll just draw an animal instead, because animals are so cool on their own. Okay. Well, that's good. Next. What shall I do next? Probably the irises. That's in the next logical layer. Ooh, my back. I gotta stop. Stop leaning over like that. Okay. Irises. Now, I think this guy did have an eye color. I think it was blue. Let me pull that info up again. Hope I didn't click. Oh, here it is. Yep, blue eyes. It's kind of ambiguous. The armor is supposed to be light blue, but this just says blue. So maybe since the armor color was specified like that, but the eye color wasn't, I'll make it a different color than what I would consider light blue. Yeah, I like that color. I think that's beautiful. And blue is not my favorite color. Blue is my least favorite color. But some blues, I do like it. It's so nice. Such a nice blue. I think my favorite blues tend more toward the green side of blue rather than the purple side. The more like royal blue it goes, the less I like it, I guess, or maybe navy blue. I don't know. This kind of blue, like that nautical color of blue that's maybe a little lighter than this, I love that color. I love it with red, paired with red. It just looks so nice. Okay, next layer. I keep looking at my little monitor to see what I'm looking at here. I can just look at my lap. I'm so used to looking up. Okay. Wonder if I should do the hair first. And then do the armor. I think I will. So another layer for the hair. Get my keyboard. Hair, okay. Now, I guess I should double check, but I'm pretty sure it said black hair. Yep. Black hair. So, I don't want to go, even though it says black hair, it's too boring to actually go fully black for, especially with a digital piece, because you can go like true black and it's like has no dimension. So I'm actually going to start with just a dark gray color. And you can do a bigger brush than that. Then we'll add shadow to it and highlights, and then it'll look really nice. We probably won't get to that today though, because this is a pretty detailed character, so just a flat color I might not even be able to get done today. Oops, wait, no, that's okay. Oh, I thought that would went on the skin layer, but wait a minute, no. It's okay. I'm going to put the armor layers on top of this and you won't even be able to see that. Ah, so quiet now that Keepy's in the other room. Poor Keepy. He's really sensitive. He's got a rough few weeks ahead of him. Can live in a strange house for who knows how long. Hopefully not too long. And then he's got to move again when we move into our new house. But then I hope to break my living in one place record. So with this house that I am in the process of moving out from, I lived here for about 10 years. And that was absolutely a record. I hadn't lived in one single place my whole life until then for more than, I think, 3 years. I moved almost every single year. And then when I first moved out on my own, I only lived in that apartment for 1 year, so I still was moving again. But then I decided I was going to stay here, didn't want to move anymore, at least not for a long time. My goal was 5 years, so I'd like doubled that, so happy about that. Yeah, I'd really like to live in our new house for, if I could double it again, double my record, and live there for like 20 years. I just move so much. I don't like moving. I hate moving. I like having a regular routine. And it's almost impossible to do that when you're moving. Yeah, I love this lazy-nesmy. It's just so nice. It makes it so nice to color in Photoshop. Manga Studio still has mostly better tools though. So then when you pair lazy-nesmy with Manga Studio, it's like, oh, it's just the ideal drawing experience. Well, maybe not. There's still problems with Manga Studio as well. Like the interface itself takes up so much room. Like here in Photoshop, I feel like I have plenty of room to work. In Manga Studio, everything is so, all the tools and stuff are so big, take up so much space on the screen. I feel like I have a much smaller area to actually work in. But that's why I have two different programs. Different uses. There's things I just can't do in Manga Studio that I can do in Photoshop, and vice versa. I'll often open a document in one program, do what I need to do in there, and then open it right up the next second in the other program to do what I need to do in that program. Let's see. Now we're like moving on to armor type stuff. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to try and figure out what layers I should start with. I think maybe the cloak. Because even though up here at the top at his shoulders, the cloak is over some layers. For the rest of the body, the cloak is behind it, so it'll be easier just to quickly fill this all in and then do the next armor layers on top of it. But I think the cloak was specially mentioned in this description, so let me look at that again. Heavy armor. Okay, anything about the cloak? Sea Dragon Cloak. It's a specific type of cloak. Same light blue as the armor, so they're all supposed to. It's all supposed to be the same colors. Even though it's supposed to be all the same colors, I think I'll do. Ooh, the keyboard slipped down. I think I'll still do two different colors of light blue, because we've just got two areas. We've got, oops, no, we've got like this area and this area, and then we've got like the, I mean, even if we didn't do that, like, there are just areas where I feel like there ought to be some contrast, I guess. So let's go back to zoom in. And it's going to be on light blue. So let's pick a light blue. This would be Sea Dragon. Sea Dragon, so maybe I'll try to aim for that nautical blue I was thinking of. But then again, with this kind of, this Warhammer thing, everything is more muted, I think. They're all, like, I'm pretty sure the Druchii is the Warhammer version of Dark Elves. So I don't want to do two. Oh, that looks good. I'm going to do this color. It's a nice pale. Muted. Muted is the good word. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so here I can just go wild. And then as I get closer to this line, I'll get more precise. really glad I started live streaming. It's, if nothing else, doing this has gotten me to work on projects that I was just putting off and putting off and putting off because they were so overwhelming. And this was one of them. I've completed a total of at least seven characters for this project. And that includes designing them from scratch and going through the design process where, you know, you design it, but then you show it to the client and they realize that visually they didn't realize what it would look like, and so they want changes, which is fine, but it's a lot of work. And eventually I was just getting like burned out. And so the Griffin project that I've been working on this week, and then this project, they were both projects that just ended up having so much to do that it was getting hard to even think about working on it, and I would just procrastinate, and then it doesn't help that we've got stuff like, oh no, oh shoot, oh crap. I've been coloring on the hair layer. No. Okay, hold on. I can fix this. Take this, like that. Shift and shift. And click that. And Control cut. Control paste. Yay! Whew! That was a close one. And just move it back to where it was. There. Let me verify this side. Yeah. Yep. Sweet. Now I'm just gonna name this cloak. Cloak. What should this be? Should this be the lighter color or the darker color? We'll call it the lighter color, and I'll choose a darker color for the other one. Cloak light. Okay, back to work. Not that I stopped working, but... what the hell? Oh. Paintbrush. Okay. Oh yeah, so I've been working on stuff that I was putting off, and it's just all thanks to live streaming. I mean, I could be working on anything during live streaming, but I don't know. I want to do these projects. I love it when they're done and I see the results of all my hard work. Because I'm never as happy with anything I do as when I carefully plan out and execute a piece, like with these projects. I'm never as happy when I just try to, say, like, sketch something without a plan and try to take that all the way to completion, and then it's just never as satisfying. There's always things I could have worked out and I didn't, because I didn't give myself the time, and so there'll be like problems with it that just can't be fixed because it's already all done. Let's see, I'm thinking the cloak does not come out over here, but it is back here. A bigger brush right here. Huge brush. Yes. Oh well. Yeah, I guess it goes like this, so cloak is all tattered. I'm going to bring this out a little bit. Tattered fabric look. Let's see. Huge hole in the cloak here. Moving down. I'm going to make this inside part of the cloak a different color. So I went through the effort of drawing this line, and I believe that the client for this character gave me a picture. It's not showing up in the document anymore. I think the link is broken. But they linked me to one of those little figures that you can paint for an example of what the Sea Dragon cloak was, and I believe that that actually had this border on it, and that's why I did that. It had a big, I don't know what to call it in fabric. It's not a border. Anyway, there was good reason to have the two different areas of the cloak here. I'm going to do a little tiny. Actually, I need a small brush. Oh, you guys probably can't hear it, but my dog is barking up a storm in the other room right now. He's sure that these people in our house are invaders, and no one is listening to him. He's like, there are people stealing all your stuff. They're raiding the house. Why aren't you listening? Just color that roughly and then erase into it. Ooh, I'm back. My one leg is just falling asleep. Holding this heavy tablet. That looks pretty good. Like that the way it is. Sounds like the movers are actually here now. We've had packers helping us with the final packing. We packed actually most of our stuff ourselves, both before we sold the house and after, but there was just some stuff I did not want to deal with packing. I didn't want to pack my dishes. And just, I've moved so many times in my life and I'm just so tired of it. I never want to do it again. Never want to pack dishes again. Get that back in there. Aw, dang it. Now get that part out. There. Good. Looks great. I'm going to erase this part. erasing too much. Nope, nope, nope. You get colored. And you get colored. Okay, I gotta try something else with this tablet setup. It's killing my back. What I want to do eventually is get one of those arms that you attach to your desk, one of those swivel arms. Of course it wouldn't help me now because I don't have a desk, but still, that's what I want to do. That's my ultimate digital art setup. Okay, I set my stand as low as it'll go. Let's try this. Ooh, Bear's meowing because I'm moving. He thinks I'm gonna let him out. No, no, Bear, you gotta stay. You gotta stay. Okay. Bear is actually not afraid of people or anything. He actually loves people. But he also loves to escape outside and get lost. So that's why he has to be locked up. Not because he's scared and will run away, but because he wants to go outside and sniff the grass and eat the grass and go hide under the house and get into trouble. Alright, sweet. This part, oh, this little corner looks like it needs a little more. Right here. This is part of that area of the cloak as well. Erase on the lower edge again. Oops, erase too much. No, no, Bear. I've never actually been able to use my stand like this because my current desk is really not very, what's the word? It does not have an efficient use of space, and it's extremely not ergonomic. Like, it's just so hard to use my tablet actually for long periods of time because it has this keyboard desk, you know, like a keyboard, what am I trying to say? Where you pull it out and there your keyboard is, but the problem is it makes me have to sit so much lower than my tablet that it really starts hurting my back after not very long. And then on top of that, it's got this shelf behind it, behind where you'd put your monitor or your tablet or whatever. And so I just can't lay my tablet flat because of that shelf being there. But it doesn't matter anyway, because that keyboard shelf, I can't get myself up high enough to use it flat anyway. Yep, movers are definitely here. I wonder if that's coming through on the recording. I'm going to close my window. I was really enjoying the unseasonably warm weather, fresh spring air, but I think it's going to start getting really noisy. The deck is right outside of my window, which means We're gonna hear a whole bunch of stuff if the window stays open. Let's see. I'm gonna zoom out, make sure I got all the cloak parts. But you know what? Now that I zoomed out, I don't need to color this color. I need to erase this. I wonder if I should do the same on this side. Over here. Yeah, because this side is coming in right behind his arm. So this side probably is too. So actually these are, I'm going to have to color them again on a different layer. Okay. Bear keeps meowing. Alrighty. Okay, that color's good. Now we need the next one. Cloak dark. My keyboard's way the heck over. There. Now, picking a darker color, maybe I will do something like that. No, that doesn't look very good. That's a lighter color. No. Let's go down. How do those look? Like that. No, I don't really like that. More colorful. I want to get two colors that look good together. But it's still supposed to be light blue overall, so I don't want it to be too different. Blah! No. It's supposed to be sea dragon. That's not darker. Okay. I think maybe. Yeah. What is that light blue? I do want it to be darker, but maybe not that much darker. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna stick with that. Quick dark layer. Whoops, I'm still on eraser. Ooh. That looks good. That looks good. And where else? Not you, bear. I'm going to fill in these larger areas first, then I'll zoom in to do the edges. Alright, I'm going to try. Yay, that's a relief on my back. I laid down, laid down on my stomach. Kind of hilarious. I have never worked on digital art while laying on my stomach before. Hang in there, Barry. Hang in there. Hopefully the moving doesn't take too long. We still have stuff to move on our own, but at least once the professional movers are done, we'll be able to let the cats out for a little break for a while. And my soon doggy. Can still hear Soon barking all the way on the other side of the house. I've never sold a house before, and this process has made me realize that no matter what, it's just a stressful time for everybody involved. Because every time we had to hurry up and pick up and clean up and get everybody packed up in order to show the house, it was just every living household member, animal and human. We were just, so stressed out. Everybody's so stressed out. Still kind of stressful now, but it's not the same as when you're like hurrying to get out of the house so that people can pretend that nobody actually lives there, you know, and like imagine themselves in the house and stuff. Like trying to keep the house as clean as possible and leave no trace of our personal lives and stuff. So much work. The poor kitties, they're starting to get like, every time we start looking like we're doing something suspicious all of a sudden and vigorously, they think they're about to get packed up into their crates, and Kiki gets so scared now, and you can just tell by her body language that she's like, oh no, oh no. But she doesn't have to worry about that now. She's doing pretty good right now. I can't even hear her. She's not meowing or anything. She's sitting in her crate, just kind of looking. No sad meows from her today. Another thing that's been great about live streaming is just a nice little break from all the hectic house stuff. It's kind of crazy because, like I said earlier, these projects are things that I was putting off because they felt so overwhelming and they were scary, and now I'm like, yay, I can't wait to work on this. I'm really looking forward to working on this stuff every day now. And I'm glad I picked these colors. I think they look really good together. And the character description specifically says the armor and the cloak are the same light blue, so I'm just going to use these colors again on separate layers for all the different pieces of armor. I think that's it for the cloak part. There is, however, there's fabric like here on the hand, here at the knees, and I think this here and this here is fabric, not hard armor. So I'm gonna make a new layer for it and do it the same. I wonder if I should make it this light blue or this dark blue. This dark light blue. I think I'll make it the darker one because if I put the lighter color for these pieces of armor, that'll make them look more like they're on top of this, which is what it's supposed to be. I gotta go get my keyboard. I'll name this, I'll just call it fabric. Oops, sorry, Bear. accidentally hit Bear's cage with my foot. Okay, gotta turn this off though. So I don't want to get confused about what I've colored or not. Let's see, I'll start with the knees. Oops, another wrong there. Other knee. I was thinking of doing these light and blue, lighter and darker blues. Like do one color here and then one color here on this edge stuff. Like same thing here. A color here and then a color for this edge stuff, but I think since I'm doing one of the colors for the fabric part of the armor, I'll probably just do most of it and just most of the hard pieces of armor in the same color. Let's see, do this arm piece. And right here. And the back feels so much better now. I'm not all hunched over, sitting on the floor. Now I'm laying on the floor. Alright, what other fabric? I think that might be it for the fabric parts of the armor. Oh, no, this gloved hand. Come over here, hand. Let's see, that's probably alright. But that is, gotta be careful here. Oh, went out a bit. Pulling this whole dang hand. Okay. And erase a bit here. Going out the lines just a bit here. Clean that up. And here. Yeah, looking good. Yeah, I'm thinking that if I can just get a new desk and that arm for my tablet, I think I would have a much better experience doing digital art. Because just leaning my tablet down like this, even though I'm on the floor, is just so much comfortable. So much more comfortable than even when I was sitting in my nice ergonomic chair, because my desk is not ergonomic, so it's like one step forward, two steps back as far as that's concerned. Hang in there, Bear. Hang in there. Let's see how this is looking. It's looking pretty good. light blue. I think the next thing I should move on to is the armor. But I wonder if these little pieces I've got right here as connecting pieces holding the two sides of, say, like this upper arm guard, or this one here, maybe I should treat them as fabric and color them on this layer as well. I think I will. And then I'm going to color the rest of the armor just all that lighter blue, aside from these little strips. Ooh, I can hear the movers. Big rumbling from stuff. Their dollies or whatnot sliding across the deck as they come back in the house. Okay, that's good. Let's back out. Make sure I didn't miss any more things that might be fabric. I believe that the tails off of this halberd, let me check. I think they're supposed to be a different color. I remember reading they're supposed to be purple. Yes. Simple halberd, wooden shaft with purple ribbon. Alright. Excellent. Now, I'm gonna pull in this lighter blue again and go for all of this armor. I'm gonna make all of this armor the same. I'm gonna make a layer for it. Bear's meowing louder. He really does not want to be in there. Turn off this light cloak layer. It's going to be the same color. Armor. Let's see. Zoom in. Start at the feet and work my way up. Soon is still barking up a storm. He's gonna send out the warning alarm until they're gone, I'm sure. He's not going to get tired. Since this client wanted their character to have light blue armor, it's going to be one of the brightest characters of the lot. Because most of the other characters have like black armor or dark green, purple, maybe red or brown like leather. None of them except this guy so far have had specifically a light color. I think he's going to stand out a lot in the lineup, because when I finish all of these, this is the second group of these characters that I've made from the same role-playing group. And what I did for the first 6 was when I finished them all, I put them all in like a lineup image with them all just standing next to each other and just like a simple gradient pattern background. So when I do that for these 4, I think he's gonna really stand out. going out. Eraser. I love that with this tablet, with the stylus, you just flip the pen over the same as you would with a real pencil. Flip it over to use the eraser. It's so awesome. It makes it super easy. Sometimes I do select the eraser with the main, what would you call it, nib? But for little erase jobs like that, I'm gonna turn this off too. Just flip the stylus over. Oops, went out. Got too excited. Well, at this rate, I actually think I might be able to finish the flat color today. The movers are still here doing their thing, so there's not really anything for me to do outside of here, so there's no reason yet for me to log off. Extending just in that line. Oh. Here it looks like it needs a little more. Yep. Yay! Okay, let's go to the other foot before I get too far up. It is easier to just color outside of the lines and then erase, because then you can be sure you went all the way up to the line. Sometimes that little tiny space, you don't notice it until you like save it as a JPEG, and then for some reason, like if you resized it or something, then that spot becomes really obvious. Bear still wants out, and he still can't come out. It's gonna be so weird when I leave my studio after this session here. When I walk out, I bet the house is gonna look so bare. My bed's gonna be gone, the couches are gonna be gone, all the boxes and furniture that we moved out to the living room, that's all gonna be gone. All packed up into the pod. Alright, that's done. Almost done. Move up. Move up the leg. And what the heck? Let's just do that. Fill it all in and erase the edges. Looks good. Oh well. Guess I pressed really harder than I thought. Didn't expect to make such a huge line. Just erase that part there. Oops. I rested my elbow on my tablet. I probably shouldn't do that. Put a huge amount of pressure on it. No, 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 no. Don't want to wreck my tablet. Now what the heck? Just go like this up here. Fill her in. Fill. And start erasing. Yeah, I'm so glad we were able to hire help to move, because I never want to move a couch again. Never, 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 never. It doesn't help that the couches I have both have fold-up beds in them, so they're super heavy. The fold-up beds are great if you've got a lot of people staying over, like you had a party and you're letting out-of-town friends stay over, and you can unfold that. You've got like 3 beds. Because one of my couches, it's bigger, so it can fit 2 people on the bed. But moving it is a pain. I think one of the movers has like a British accent. Fascinating. Maybe I'm just hearing it wrong because my door is closed, obviously, but really, it sounds like Irish or something. Sometimes someone tried to correct me. Like, what? Did you just say Ireland was part of the British Isles? And I'm like, Northern Ireland is the thing. And it's like, you know what I'm talking about. If I say British accent, if I say one of those kind of accents, you don't need to get so picky. You don't need to be a jerk about it. The meaning of what I was trying to say was what was important, not the specifics. Because all I was trying to say is that I love accents, that's all. I just love language, so I was just trying to group a bunch of, trying to bring to mind an area of the world. I love watching those videos where they go through. There was one I watched, it was just wonderful. It was all through the British Isles, but it had all the different, regional accents and all the differences there. And it was like, I don't know, 24 or more. Just going through the actual, main British island with Wales, England, and Scotland. Something that's really interesting to me about accents is that people like to make fun of Southern accents, but a lot of Southern accents come from the people who emigrated there, which was tons of, I like to say, Celtic people, like Scots-Irish people. That's where a lot of my family came from, and a lot of them moved into Mississippi and those areas, and it's like that's where a lot of the influence came from. And people think Scottish and Irish accents are super cool, but then they make fun of Southern American accents, even though they have a lot of the same roots. I like any kind of accent. I like watching anime in Japanese and noticing. I know enough Japanese to be able to hear accents. And a lot of times those are when I'm like, yep, I definitely still need subs because I cannot understand. I can tell that this person is talking in an accent, in a Japanese regional accent, and I have no idea what they're saying because of that. So I have enough Japanese that I think I could get along fine in Japan without like a guide for everything, but I can't just watch some anime that has accents in it. There was one anime I watched last season, this quiz show anime, which I loved, and one of the girls had I think they call it a Kansai accent, but it was like I couldn't understand anything. I couldn't understand anything she said. But it sounded really fun. Like, I really loved it. I don't know. There was something about it. I was like, wow, this is a cool accent. I've never heard it before. Just love language stuff. Okay, so the cloak area I need to actually erase because I've already colored that. I don't want this to cover that up. Oops, there's too much. No, not that. Oh, this is part of it too. Erase this whole bit. Like that. Gotta change my position again. Soon still barking like mad, but the two kitties in here have calmed down. Kiki's now all curled up and sleeping. And Bear's taken up grooming himself. Wait, this can be colored too. The side guard things on his head, cheek guards. I think I might need to zoom in into this area. Actually, I'm going to double check and make sure the helmet doesn't have anything special about it in the character description. Fiat Obsidian. Okay. His halberd is special. The shield, sword, the cloak. Oh, yep. Yep, the helmet is actually special. Oops, goodness, no. It's supposed to be silver. So I'm going to erase all of this. Glad I looked that up and didn't waste my time coloring this in blue. The trick I used earlier would not have worked. But I just had to color it all again. Helmet is supposed to be silver. Although I guess I could just make the helmet. Well, it's too late. Could have made the helmet layer on top. In fact, I probably would have done that, but whatever. I've already done it. I've already erased. Do need to erase here though. This cloak. Don't want to cover up the cloak, especially since it's the same color. So I wouldn't be able to tell once I turn the cloak layer back on. Poor Soon. He's probably so frustrated. There's strangers in his house. He can't do anything about it. He doesn't understand that they're here to help. He doesn't understand anything about the concept of moving. He's actually never moved before, not like this. He has changed residence, but he's never actually moved with a residence, moved with a household, where the whole environment changes around him. But one of the big reasons we want to get a different house is because with this house, we're not allowed to put up a fence, or at least a decent fence. You can put up like a fence that will do nothing to keep a Shiba Inu in. And so we're looking for a house that has a fully fenced backyard so that we can let Soon out and he can just go out the door and we don't have to have him on a leash, and he can just run around and explore the whole yard, not be tethered to us the whole time. So in the end, this move is going to be specifically beneficial to Soon, but there's just no way to communicate that to him. We'll just have to experience it when it happens. Okay, how are we doing? I think that there's the helmet. So leave that. I'm going to move on to the arms. So I can zoom out now. Zoom out a bit. Wait, no. No. Don't want to color in here. These are going to be a different color. Well, I think I will make those rivets the same color, because those will be metal too, so they may as well be the same color metal as this. Or whatever this is. I'm considering it metal, but since it's light blue, oh, but it's fantasy. Whatever, it's metal. I guess you can have light blue metal. It's just not a classic metal color. Color in rivets. Oops, colored too much. Erase the excess. Boom. And do that up here as well. Oops, looks like I erased too much. There. I need to remember on the helmet, I'm looking back at this character description. The helmet is supposed to be decorated with a fine demonic script. And even got a reference image here. The reference image has just a demonic script letter representing each English letter, so it's more like just like a code. And so I'm thinking I'll just like write the character's name. Maybe I'll write the character's name, and this helmet has a special name too, and it's called Helmet of Slaanesh. So I'll probably write Helmet of Slaanesh, or maybe I'll just write Slaanesh on it. Write the character's name on it. What else? What else am I doing? I could write warrior. It's just meant to be a warrior. No special title, just warrior. Okay. Alright, done looking at that. Oops. Eraser. Movers are still out there working hard. I can hear them. Soon still barking away. Poor boy, he's been at it for quite a while. It's because he's so energetic. He's not like a puppy anymore. He's not that energy level, but he's still really, he's going strong. I'll just say that. Okay, just color it down to the shield. What's interesting with this project is that it's taken me a long time between steps to get things done. So like the initial sketches were done a long time before the actual line work was finalized, and now the coloring is being done a long time after the lines. So it's an interesting combination of increasing skill levels on the different areas. Because if I had done the line work at the same time as I had done the sketches and the character design work, it wouldn't have come out as nice as it is. Although it would probably come out even nicer if I did the line work now with my current skill set. But even now I'm doing the coloring much later, so the coloring is now, you know, this is the top of my game, so this is going to have the best color work that I can do digitally. And I've been really happy with how these are coming out with that, with that in mind. It's not the same color, but this kind of reminds me of Link. Legend of Zelda Link. Just blue armor. I guess with Breath of the Wild's armor color changing system, it doesn't help. I love that system. I love collecting all the pieces of a set of armor then taking it to the color shop and making it a color I like. So I like my I think it's called the Sheikah armor. I made it white, and it looks just super cool like that. I love that game. I want to get back to playing it. I never finished anything about it. I was playing it more like just explorer type. I wasn't really pursuing the story. I mean, I was doing story stuff as I came to it, but I love just exploring the world, finding random enemies in places, finding all the shrines and doing them. It's just infinitely fun. I never have gotten bored of that game or anything. The only reason I stopped playing was because the last time I played it was when I did an Artist Alley convention last spring, and I played it during all of Artist Alley whenever I had free time. But it got packed with all my stuff to come home and stuff, and that just, after a convention, I'm so tired, I just leave all my stuff, I just put it off to the side, bring it in the house, and ugh. And I didn't pick it up since then. And then it doesn't help that other games came out, Splatoon 2, and then Mario Odyssey most recently, and I'm like, these are so fun too, and dang, I just love Nintendo. People whined for the longest time, starting with GameCube, that there weren't enough games coming out. But personally, I prefer to have less games and their super good quality than to have a bunch of games and they're all like, well, you only play it for 5 minutes because you're like, this kind of sucks. But now Nintendo's doing such a good job with all of their everything they do that they have lots of games coming out, and all the games are super good. It doesn't matter what it is, you can get any of their games. If it's got an official, if it's actually made by Nintendo, it's basically guaranteed to be good. The first time anyone mentioned live streaming to me as something I should do, it wasn't about art, it was about my commentary when I play Splatoon. I don't know how to stream that though. And also I'd have to mark my channel as adult because I have no filter playing Splatoon. I just get so into it. It's just, and if I keep losing, I just get so mad. It's not family friendly at that point. But for these art streams, try to be all inclusive, so try to watch my language and stuff here. I feel like I'm starting over when it comes to Splatoon 2 though, because since they changed the jump button, that really threw me for a loop, and I was pretty upset about it at first when I played the demo. The very first online demo that you could do. Because I couldn't do anything, I'd be like in squid form and then I'm like trying to jump and I'm getting splatted because it's not jumping, because the jump button wasn't the same anymore. But eventually I got used to it. Now I don't even think about it. I'm worried though that if I try to go back to the Wii U Splatoon, then I'll have the opposite effect and I'll try and jump with the wrong button and I'll get frustrated again. Because with the new levels as well, with Splatoon 2, even if it's a familiar level, they added stuff. So I still kind of feel like I'm learning the ropes again. So I think when I really started doing well with Splatoon, when I first started playing the original game, was when I started learning all the levels, and I knew all the shortcuts, and I knew how to get quickly into enemy territory and start taking over stuff that people usually just rush by and don't bother to fill in. There's just so much strategy in that game. It's just so fun. The only complete art piece I ever did on Miiverse before that closed down, using the Art Academy sketch program, was a Splatoon fan art commemorating my ascension to level 30. Because at the time I was 30 years old, so I was like, my levels match. And all my Miiverse buddies had been playing it, like, obsessively for the first 2 years the game was out. I was a late comer to it, and so they're all like level 50 already. And I'm like, level 10. That's another thing that's great about it. It doesn't really matter what your level is. The level just shows how much work you've put into the game. It doesn't really affect... I mean, yeah, you get better weapons and stuff, but overall, I saw people who had started over and they were like level 1 and they're using the basic, I can't remember what it's called, basic gun, and they're just owning everybody on the field on their own, and then the match is over and they're number 1. They've covered a ridiculous amount of area and splatted people 30 times or whatever. So the weapons don't even matter either, what weapons you unlock. I really want to spend more time on Splatoon 2 as well, because the salmon run seems so fun to me, but I only played it a couple times. Didn't really become an expert at it, and those bosses can be really hard. And how you're randomly assigned a weapon. I'm terrible at charger weapons. At the sniper weapons. I'm best with gun type weapons. At first I favored the roller, which I think a lot of people do when they first start, because you can cover a lot of ground. But then I can't remember what it was called. It was the arrow spray something. It was the gold gun that looked like a what the heck is it called? I can't remember. Arrow spray something. That was my favorite weapon. I haven't unlocked it in Splatoon 2 yet. Hey, how's that looking? You know what? I haven't saved in a while. Bad idea. Save. Yeah, that goes to show how long it's been since I've saved. It's taken forever. Ooh, there it goes. Stood up for a second to see if the movers were done, but there's still something on our deck, so... Oh, nope, here they come. It had been quiet for so long, I thought maybe they were done. That's why Bear started meowing, because I stood up. Yeah, right now it looks all the same, but I'm going to use a lot of shading to differentiate. So like the cloak, even though right now, like this area is exactly the same as this color right here. Since this is farther back, it'll probably be more in shadow, so it'll end up overall looking darker than, say, the armor on the legs here. I'm considering what I should move on to next. I think maybe the helmet. It just says it's silver, so I'm going to do it all one color. bring up the character reference sheet again. Character description. Yeah, all it says is that the helmet is silver, as far as colors go. So, just gonna try and pick a silver that looks good with this blue armor. I think I'll stay in the same range. Just go over here. Maybe a little darker, since these are dark elves. Don't want it to get, oh, bear meows. Don't want it to get too bright. And I think that looks pretty good together. Zoom in. It's probably good. Yeah. Actually, there's a lot of these little spiky parts. I'm gonna go in closer. Zoom in all the way. Oh, sweet. Such a small area that fits all in one screen. It's kind of big. Make that smaller. Smaller brush. It's really close to the skin tone. I'm going to turn the skin off, so I can be sure I filled this in and it's not just skin tone poking through and tricking me. Bear's trying to get out. Poor bear. He wants to be done. Doesn't want to be in there anymore. I really hope we can find a house to move into really quick. It's just going to be easier on everyone the faster we get into our next permanent residence. Fill it in, fill it in. Fill in the whole helmet. Sun's still barking. Just doesn't understand why someone doesn't come deal with these people. These people who are invading our house. Hope Kiba's nice and calm now, wherever my husband put him in the house. Bear's getting stir crazy. Cabin fever for bear. Hang in there, bear. Not much longer. Maybe I'll just open his door. My studio room door is closed, so it's probably okay for Bear to come out of his crate. As long as he doesn't start scratching up the walls like Kiwi was doing. I just painted in here, and I do not want the paint to be messed up. Painted the walls for the new owners. Wow. I think this silver color looks really good with his eyes. Oops, I erased too much there. It's getting hard to stay comfortable. I keep changing positions, but it's like it's getting to a point where it doesn't matter how I sit or lay down. Working on the floor is getting really tough. But the movers are still working out there, so there's not really anything else for me to do right now other than work on this. Because if I go out there, I'll just end up being in the way. Did I erase everything? I feel like I might have missed a spot that I needed to erase. No, it looks like I got it all. Need to fill in up here though. Top of the helmet. Oh, that's going out a little bit. Oh no, he's doing just like Keepy. No, Bear, come here. Yep, Bear doesn't just want out of his crate, he wants out of this room. Bear, come here. Come here, Bear. Put him back in his crate. He's trying to scratch up the fresh paint on the wall near the door. I painted the door relatively recently too, just a couple months ago. So I don't want him to scratch that up either. Just gonna hang on for a little bit longer. We already packed more than half of our stuff just to get ready for listing the house so that it could be shown. So there's not even that much stuff relative to everything. Well, hopefully they'll be done packing soon, packing it into the pod. We're using a pod this time, which is like a little mobile storage unit. And they bring it and drop it off in front of your house, and then when it's all packed, they come and take it and store it until you tell them you're ready to get your stuff out. Huh, looks like I missed something down here on the armor layer. The glove is. Forgot to erase this. Yep. It's not good. There. That's good. bear. You gotta hang in there. Okay, what else? Mostly it's his accessories now that need to be done. Shield, his sword, and his halberd. I don't even know if that's a sword. It looks more like a... I guess it could be a short sword. Let's look at the reference. Character reference sheet. Character description. Okay, well, as far as the gear section is concerned, the halberd is the first described, so we'll do that first. And the shaft is just brown, just wooden, so I wonder if I can just, I'm gonna try to fill this whole dang thing in one go. 19 is too small. 36, nope, too small. 48, we'll try this. But I need my keyboard. Because if you click, oh, better choose a color. Brown, it's wooden, so let's do brown color. I want it to be a kind of a cool brown, I think, because to look like it fits in with all the rest of his stuff. With all this blue and silver, he's just a cool colored character. Just click there. Then you go down to the bottom. And as long as you're holding down Shift, when you click again, yeah, it fills in the whole thing. So do that again here. Click. Go back to the top and click. Yes. Now I have to erase this stuff. Sweet. I think next I'll do the ribbon. New layer. Titled ribbon. And I remember it was supposed to be purple. Let's go up into the purples. I don't want to make it a cool purple, just like all the rest. Not pastel though. I think that it should be a richer purple so that it doesn't make him look like a pastel dark elf. A richer, darker purple. Let me see something. Hold on, I want to copy this color so that when I do this, it'll be down there. Yeah, see, that makes it look all pastel. That's too red though. Make it cooler, bluer. Ooh, kind of like that. Maybe that's a little bit too vibrant. Oh, yes. Maybe a little darker. Yeah, let's do that. I don't want it to look like Easter time with the dark elves. Hopefully that's not what's happening. Hopefully by the time I'm done shading, let's then go down here, this part of the ribbon. Gonna have to erase here. It's touching the fingers. No, I'm not gonna try too hard. I'm just gonna be sloppy right there. like Soon's barking so much that I don't notice when he goes quiet until he starts barking again. Because I just realized that he had gone quiet because he started barking. He doesn't stop for a long time, and then once he does, I don't notice. I think maybe he's starting to get tired of barking now. There's more space between each bark. He's going to be tuckered out tonight. We haven't even taken him on his walk yet today. Wanted to take him on a walk this morning before all the craziness started. But we had so much to do to get ready because we had to make sure to separate the stuff that we wanted packed and moved from the stuff that we want to keep out and available. So we didn't end up walking soon. And then I thought maybe it would be better to wait until we're set up tonight in our temporary residence and then walk him around that neighborhood so he'll have a new experience. Because for us, that's what walking him is about. It's not about taking him out on a walk so that he'll go potty. Although he doesn't usually go potty unless he's out on a walk. Not easily. No, it's more to give him some stimulation, mental stimulation. So something different to look at. Different smells, different experiences. Bear's digging. He's getting desperate. He's trying to dig through his crate. Poor animals. So stressed out, poor animals. Next time I move, well, once we're moved into whatever new house we end up getting, I want to make sure that we are in a position to just buy whatever new house we're going to move into and not be like trying to sell the house while we're still living in it, because then that way it would be much less stress on the pets. They'll just go through one single move, and then when we sell whatever house we're moving away from, then we can just have it empty, and then we don't even have to worry about getting ready for buyers to come and look at it. They just go look at it. It'll always be ready. Just a little bit longer, Bear. Every time it goes quiet for a while, I'm like, oh, are they done? And then they come back and they're not done. They've been working for quite a while, so I'm really glad that I am not doing that myself. Okay, now I'm on to the head of the halberd, and then also this little thing at the bottom. I was going to make the same metal color. I don't think it mentioned what metal. Yeah, this is the one where it just has a Dynasty Warriors weapon as the reference image. So it's like a stainless steel or silver color. So I'm just gonna pull the same color from the helmet. I'm not gonna do a different color. So I'm gonna call this metal. We're almost done, Bear. Almost done. Just drop Bear off in the laundry room where the kitty potties are. See, maybe he wants to go potty. Maybe that's why he is so crazy. But so far that didn't look like the case. He did not go into kitty box. He turned right around and wanted let out. I'm gonna let him sit in there for a couple minutes and then go and collect him, because there's still a box in there for the movers to get, so I don't want Bear to get out. Don't want him to get out when they come get that box. Hopefully they're not like almost done and that was the last box or something. Guess we'll see. It's just about lunchtime for me though. I'm starting to get hungry. But since they're not done yet, I don't want to be in their way making some food. Just gonna hang in there till we're done. I'll at least finish the flat color on here. I think I have time to do that before they're gonna be done. Because it doesn't sound like they've come past my door at all so far, and that they'd have to come get that box out of the laundry room. Oops, I erased too much. I'm gonna get the very tippy end of this crescent. Gotta make sure that stays colored. Bear uses the potty. And I hope that when I bring him back in here, he'll be calmer. Oh my gosh, I think I just heard him yell from the laundry room. He wants out of there too. He just doesn't want to be locked up. He wants to see what the heck is going on. Okay, I'm gonna go get Bear real quick. Yep, he is not happy about coming back in here. He just wants not to be in here. Didn't look like he used the potty. He just stayed by the door, laundry room door, and wanted to come back out. Well, I didn't put him back in his crate. Maybe at least so far it doesn't sound like it goes and yelling. Maybe he'll be happier not being in his crate. He can look out the window here. I wonder if he hasn't realized that. I'm gonna put him by the window. Nope, he's not really interested. Alright, that part looks good. Oh, no, looks like I missed a couple spots right here. Right there, and right here. There. Now for the bottom part. So let's do a little sloppy color and then erase. Bear keeps saying out. I want out. This is just a kitty-filled video, even though I'm not drawing anything related to kitties. Let's see, I want to zoom out. Zoom out really far. See how it's all looking. I'm gonna turn off the dark background. Oh yeah, I think that looks pretty good. It doesn't look too pastel once I turn on the white background. As far as flat colors go. So I still have the sword and the shield. Alright, let's see what the reference sheet says about the sword. Doesn't say anything about the color, so I'm just going to make it the same color as the halberd. In fact, this is a good opportunity to, let me see, it's called a Druchii shield. Druchii. So the shield and the sword have special names, but the halberd is just halberd. at least in this description. So I think that it won't be a problem to incorporate this purple for the ribbon on the halberd. I'm going to incorporate it into these items here so that it's not like, oh yeah, and there's some random purple here, even though everything else is like nice and tied together with its color scheme. So I'm going to go to the sword and I'll make the grip, I'll make it purple too. So I think I can just put it on the same layer as this. So I just need to add and sword grip. Yep. And we will copy this color. And here we go. Fill that in. Zoom in a bit. And erase. In fact, I kind of like... Nah, okay. I won't do it. I do have a reference image for this sword. And the pommel, this part, is the same, about the same color as the hilt here. So I was thinking of maybe doing like this part or this part purple too, but the reference image is what the client wants, so I'm going to keep to that. A little more there. Oh, this needs more erasing here. Right there. And here. There, that's good. What else? So I guess I'll make the hilt and pommel this same silver color, so that that's also carrying over. So that overall we've just got a few colors going on with this character. So we've got a couple of shades of light blue, we've got silver, and purple. And I don't think there are any other colors specified. So that's good, because I just always think it looks better when there's a unified color scheme throughout. So metal, I guess I'll just keep the layer name the same. It's metal too. And this part. There's this little tiny area that I think is supposed to be blade. If that's the case, I may as well keep it all the same color. Because if it's blade, it's metal too, so... And that's... Oh, no, I missed a little spot right there. Got it, okay. Erasing time. Oops. Erase too much. There we go. Looks like the same deal in the corner here. Come on, come on. There. Dang it, I keep erasing too much. Alright, that looks good. Sword part's done. And the shield is actually a huge area. I'm not sure. Yeah, I've still got this description up, but it doesn't say anything about colors. So I think I'm just gonna have to pick. Furthermore, I made a note to myself here. Don't forget shield snake. It's supposed to have a serpent forming a Z. Bears and meowing again. Serpent making a Z. I definitely need to do that. I don't know if I should just make it part of the shading work though. Or if I should draw it now. Thinking about it, I'm thinking. I'm not sure how to approach this. Because I'd like to go ahead, it would make it nice and balanced if I included some silver on the shield. Because we've got the silver up here on the halberd. I'll zoom out some more. Silver here. Silver here. So that's like in the middle. Silver here. So that's in the middle this way. And if I did, say if I did the border of this shield in silver, then that would make, there would be silver on both sides, left and right. And then there'd be silver top and bottom too. In fact, this silver little end of the halberd here too. It'd almost make a triangle. Silver, silver, silver. Bear is walking right in front of me. Right in between me and my tablet. Barry, there's nothing new in here. I think he's trying to find an alternate exit. Yeah, after talking that out to myself, I think that's a good idea. I am going to make the outside part of the shield silver. I think it'll balance the image nicely. Bear is scratching up my door. Didn't look like too much left when I went out to get Bear last time. The kitchen table is still there. No, maybe just the chairs. There were a couple boxes left, but it definitely seemed empty overall. I'm going to turn all these layers off. That blue is too light a color. It's too hard to tell whether I'm actually coloring this or if it's the blue. Just gonna color it really roughly and then erase. Maybe this scar, or whatever this is, this line through the shield like a huge talon raked through it. I think I'll make that silver too, to be like a cut through. It cut through whatever this is and is exposing the metal underneath. I think that's a cool idea. I'm gonna do that. That's pretty easy to color too. Bear. I'm gonna have to put him in his crate. He did not want in there. His meows were annoyed, like, oh no. That's what his meows sound like to me. Little quiet ugh. Kitty ugh. Poor animals, they do not understand what's going on. This moving thing, to them it's just chaos. They have no idea. It's all for the best. We're all gonna have more room. The kitties will have more room. Soon we'll have a yard to play in. Hopefully I'll have a bigger studio. I'm really hoping for that. Really hoping for that. Okay, now to erase. I think I'm gonna zoom in more for this. I'm gonna make its own layer for the inside of the shield. So I only need to erase on the outside. Oh, an area I missed. Glad I zoomed in. Oh, I hit the save button by accident. My save shortcut. Probably a good idea. I haven't saved in a while. It's so easy to save when I have my keyboard in front of me and I can just hit Control S. I forget when it's now always like off to the side. Keyboard totally out of reach. Okay, that section's done. Moving up. Up, up, up. This is really tough to work without a desk and a chair. It's really tough to work on the floor like this. It was amusing at first, but I'm starting to get really tired. But honestly, until the movers are done, there's nothing else for me to do. So this is a good opportunity for me to make a lot of progress on this character. Because really, once the flat color's filled in, I've never timed it. I'm not sure if shading takes longer, but I guess it's more interesting, so even if it does take longer, it doesn't feel like it. This looks like a 5. It is easier being on the floor with this tablet to reach the whole space that's visible without having to scroll as much. Because with the computer desk I have, with the keyboard tray that goes underneath the part where I have my tablet. Oops, I'm zooming in by accident. And I thought I had that turned off. Since I'm left-handed, I don't like to have that scroll bar active because I accidentally touch it. But yeah, I can reach the whole thing when the tablet is below me, but when it's that high up on the desk, then I can't put my chair up higher because of the keyboard tray. I can't reach the top of the tablet to color. This is much better. This is more like physically coloring. Whoops. Well, more like it. Not completely like it, but I wonder if I should make these little diamonds silver. I think I will. I'm gonna make these silver. There's one at the bottom, I'll go get that later. Bear wants out again. Well, it's not like he stopped wanting out. He's meowing about it again. Oops. No, I want it to be eraser time. This is doing a number on my back. It's not really mattering what position I take to work on this now. It's just everything's uncomfortable. Let's see. Just down a bit. It is still nice to get lost in doing this kind of work while all the moving and stuff is happening. Just work on my own thing. One little break during the day that's not focused on packing and moving, repairing holes in walls, painting, cleaning everything. Something that's not that stuff. Alright, how's that? Is that the whole thing? Did I get all the way up here already? I did, yay! So I'm just going to color in this diamond. It's a very elongated diamond. And I'm going to make its own layer for the shield, whatever it is. I kind of imagine it to be like covered in leather. So maybe that's what I'll call this new layer that I'm going to make. Shield leather. Is that how you spell shield? No. Shield. Poor bear, poor bear. And I want it to be the same purple color. We'll just imagine it's the same purple leather as this sword grip. I think once I finish this part, I've got to draw that snake. Although I could save that for next time. Yeah, I'm gonna save this again. Saving time. Save, 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 save. Okay. Yeah, I guess if I did that snake, I would have to do that writing, that demonic writing on the helmet. Well, I'll save all that stuff for next time. Dang it, I didn't mean to go out there. Calm yourself, bear. There. Over here. Do, 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 do. I was just thinking, I want to make sure to shade these parts that I am now considering to be made of leather. I want to make sure to shade them differently than I do the metal parts, because I want it to look like these are different materials. And even the most polished of leather, the most shiniest leather, does not shine the way metal shines. It's still kind of dulled and diffused, since I've got leather right next to metal in this shield. I want to make it clear. I want to have that stark contrast between the two textures. So I might look up pictures of leather to get an idea of how to make it. I bet I could look up leather shield to get an idea of what the highlighting and shadows do on leather. leaning on my arm in this position, kind of hurting my shoulder. Well, if nothing else, this is proven that my ergonomic chair was totally worth it. I can definitely last longer sitting in that chair, even with my desk that's not that great. It's much better for long sessions than just being on the floor like this. Long art sessions. I moved just a little bit and Bear did a huge meow, like he thought I was going to get up or something. Ah, no! Why does it keep doing that? Occasionally it doesn't respect the tablet pressure. It just does maximum pressure. My stomach is growling. Can't wait to eat whatever it was I was gonna have for lunch. They are still working out there. Can hear them on deck. Let's move over here. Oh, spot that I missed. On the metal layer. Right here. There. Okay. Back to the leather. Back to purple. I think this is probably my longest streaming session ever. No wonder I'm getting tired and stuff. Well, there's really nothing better for me to be doing right now. I did such short sessions the rest of the week, kind of making up for it, I guess. Moving so. Okay, let's bring this down a bit. I think I'm going to work with a smaller brush size around here. Because this part is meant to look like kind of cracked and falling apart. So I'm going to use a smaller brush so I can get more precision lines without worrying so much about how much pressure I'm putting on the stylus. What I'm going to do here is connect them like that. Here, same thing. Just connect them. It's probably fine. Alright, what about this? This is a big, long, unconnected line. I think I just do straight. Straight connection here. Erase this. Yep, good. Good. That's fine. Moving over here. No, Bear, I wasn't talking to you. My stomach's just rumbling. It's getting hungry. Hungry. Now let's put this done and go back to a larger brush size for a little while. I'm gonna go like here. Oh, no, didn't work. Didn't work. There. That's kind of what I had in mind. That's keen too much. There. There, hang in there. They're almost done. Almost done. Almost done with this part. What do I do to myself? These details, I love them in the end. Working on them. So, just gotta push through. Now, just come here. Okay, I'm gonna make this go all the way down there. And here, come out way in. Yep, that's good. Yep, that's good. Yay. Ooh, still have this part. Almost done for this section, but then there's more up above. Hope in the end this will look pretty cool. Look like a cool damaged shield, a used shield, not just a decorative shield. Okay, back to the bigger brush for a while. I want to save. I don't want to lose all that work I just did. Okay, here. I feel like when the packing is finally done, I'll like be able to hear people like saying goodbye, thanks for your help and stuff, so it's been quiet for a little while, but I haven't heard anything like that yet. I think maybe this is one of those times again where it's quiet for a good long while, but then they come back. Filling. For a second I thought I missed a strip, but no, it was filled. Got one more little cracked detail to fill in. Oops. No, 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 no. Good little Kiki. She's being so nice and quiet. She's just... I think she was snoring. She just woke herself up. Oh, I hate it when it does that. No, respect the tablet pressure. I'll go back to this side for a bit. Keep it even. Dang. Guess I gotta switch to the small brush again. Do this little... I'll finish over here first though. Movers have been working for at least as long as I have been, I think. No, I guess a little less. Still, I'm glad I'm spending this time making art rather than doing what they're doing. I just hate moving. I hate lifting furniture. Okay, time to switch positions again. Resting on my arm like that really hurting my shoulder. Okay, back to a slightly smaller brush. This little detail area. This travels up. Leave on a silver alongside it. There. Excellent. Oh goodness. Looking in the upper right corner, I'm only halfway done filling this dang thing in. I think I'm gonna use the paint bucket and just color the edges and then fill it in with the paint bucket. Want it to be more sharp. That's good. Oh, oops. Okay, this side. Just gonna do on the edges. Maybe I should have done this from the beginning, but sometimes it's easier just to. It's mentally easier just to continue filling in with brush strokes. This is such a huge area, and I've been working so long on it, and it's only half full, so I'm gonna switch to paint bucket mode. It requires a little more thought than just continuing to swipe, 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 swipe. That's why I don't always just default to that. But I'm getting tired of the swipe, 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 swipe. There, those are connected. Scroll up. I guess I'm also moving to the largest area of the shield too. The bottom part was more narrow. This is super wide compared to that. Another spot that I missed. In the middle layer. There. Switch back to purple. Purple, purple, purple. Just gotta do the whole outline in purple. And with one click, I'll fill the middle. Oops, now a bit here. There. Still gotta do this huge scratch, gouge on the shield. Oh, they're packing something. Wrapping it with shrink wrap or something. I'm not sure. There's a lot of high-pitched, like, kind of scratching noises. almost done with this scratch. Almost done. So close, so close. That's one nice little thingy. That's good. This little part. Yes. Good. Now, we'll scoot over to the side. Fill in this part. Well, outline it, not fill it in. Paint bucket is gonna do all the filling for me. In fact, there's an even better way. I'm not just gonna... Yeah, I had a good idea. Never tried it this way before. We'll see how it works. The idea that I suddenly came up with. Normally I just click once to fill with the paint bucket, and then there's always a line between what I outlined and what the paint bucket filled in. If you click again with the paint bucket, it will fill that line in, but it will fill it in on both sides, which usually means that the outside of this purple area would extend beyond these lines that I'm trying so hard to stay within. So either way, you have to spend time going around the outside erasing, or spend time going along the inside with a brush to fill in the part that it didn't fill in automatically. Instead of that, I'm gonna take a magic wand, select this area, and then go to select, modify, and expand the selection. Not too much, maybe 5. Yes. Yes, I think this is gonna be great. So this way I can click the paint bucket tool more than once, but it shouldn't make the purple extend all the way over here. It should only go within these bounds that I've selected. One more time for good measure. And deselect. Yes! Sweet! How many years I've been using this and I never thought of that before. I'm always learning new things, new techniques. Zoom out a bit. I want to make sure there weren't any more little areas that I missed. I think this looks good though. Maybe I'm done for today. Zoom all the way out. Let's take a look at the full colored character, flat color, other than, I better make a note. So I've got this notes layer, and it's may as well zoom back in. There. Now remember to put that demonic script on the helmet, as well as the snake on the shield. Turn that off though. Zoom out a little more. So I'm going to look at it, make sure I didn't forget anything. I think that looks really good with the purple because it makes like a diagonal line. Oops. Oh, it doesn't let me. Whatever. This little no entry sign that my mouse became made me think something was going on. It's just because I'm on this color folder. But they're almost done. Purple is making a nice diagonal line. And then the silver is almost making an upside down V shape. And it's also balanced diagonally. The blue just goes straight up and down. Right now it doesn't look like I forgot to fill anything in. Looking it over. Okay, I'm going to look at it with the white background. I think that looks pretty good. So let me save it. Yeah, this file is so huge, it's taking it does not usually take this long to save a file. But this is a huge file. Alright. Well, I've been working on this for 3 hours. I think that's pretty good for today. Tomorrow's Chibi Friday. So I have an idea of what I might do if I can't do a physical media live stream. So we'll see what it ends up being then. Thank you for watching. And from Bear too. Bear says thank you.